Please welcome Blaine Bouchard, Senior Policy Advisor, Infrastructure and Investment for the Ring of Fire Secretariat, discussing investment opportunities focusing on the potential of the Ring of Fire and opportunities for the mining supply and service sectors. S'il vous plaît, veuillez accueillir Blaine Bouchard, conseiller principal aux infrastructures et investissements pour le Secretariat du Cercle de Feu, qui discutera des opportunités d'investissement dans le secteur de l'approvisionnement et des services dans le domaine minier.
Hello, everyone. As the narrator, I guess, just said, my name is Blaine Bouchard, and I'm a Senior Policy Advisor in the Ring of Fire Secretariat. I just want to start off by saying I think I saw Mayor Beaulieu in the room, but I just want to give a quick thank you to the municipality of Greenstone and to the organizers of this event, not only for inviting me to speak, but also just for putting on this event. There's obviously tons of different people here with an interest in what's happening with the Ring of Fire and mining generally in the region, and seems like everything is going great so far, so thank you very much. Just a little bit before I kind of get started, just about the Secretariat itself. So we're the body within the Ministry of Northern Development and Mines that's tasked with sort of coordinating, I guess, the overall government action plan with respect to the Ring of Fire. We have offices in Thunder Bay, we have offices in Sudbury, and we have offices in Toronto, and I'm one of the folks down in the Toronto offices, and primarily my role in the office is to work with municipalities and the mining supply and service sector just to make sure that they're engaged and prepared for the significant opportunities that are going to be coming down hopefully in the next little while with the Ring of Fire. So I'll just get started with my first slide here. So probably no secret to most of the folks in this room. The Ring of Fire is one of the most promising mineral development opportunities in Ontario in almost a century. It's located in Ontario's far north, about 500 kilometers or so north of Thunder Bay. And it's in an area that doesn't really have any infrastructure at this point in time. There's nothing there that's linking kind of anything to existing roads or rail. There's no electricity. So that makes the undertaking of getting mineral production in that area a pretty complex undertaking, and that's sort of what we're tasked with in the Secretariat of fostering. So current estimates in the Ring of Fire suggest a multi-generational, and I just want to emphasize the multi-generational part because it really truly is a significant find of a bunch of variety of different minerals, including of course chromite, nickel, copper, platinum, and others as well that make it home to a place that has significant opportunities for the mining sector going forward. So slide number 3, I won't spend a lot of time on that. It's just a map of surrounding communities, surrounding First Nations communities, and gives you a sense of exactly just how remote the Ring of Fire is, and the some of the challenges are of course inherent with getting necessary infrastructure up into that area. So the next slide speaks to sort of the overall government vision for the Ring of Fire. So there's several different areas here that we're looking to sort of maximize and to get positive impact from the Ring of Fire on. And I've just highlighted at the bottom there what my presentation is going to focus on today, which is maximizing mining supply and services expertise and maximizing the opportunities for that sector connected to the planned production up in the Ring of Fire. So just a quick little primer on a couple of the different commercial projects that are happening in the area of the Ring of Fire. So of course many people here will be familiar with Cliffs' proposed chromite project. This is a project that includes or will include an open pit mine, a concentrator that'll be sort of on site within the far north. They have a proposal for a all-weather road from the mine site to Nikina, which is of course of a particular interest to folks in in Greenstone, given the geographic proximity to that area. They have plans for a value-added ferrochrome refinery, and they've initiated some feasibility studies to kind of get things going with that. And of course, many people here will know that last November, Cliffs announced an indefinite suspension of its current work on the chromite development project that they have planned. But I think it's also really important to note that Cliffs is not completely withdrawn or anything like that from the Ring of Fire. They continue to have conversations with us in the province. They continue to have conversations with area First Nations communities, and still continue to believe in the value of their project and the mineral deposits that they have in the Ring of Fire. Next, another significant project is the Noront nickel project. Last June, they announced their plans for the deposits in the Ring of Fire. Haven't changed in light of the Cliffs announcement. Their planning includes an underground mine, an underground concentrator and tailings storage, some access to the site, and Noront has a proposal for a road that sort of runs east-west from their proposed mine site into Pickle Lake. And they've submitted a draft environmental impact statement / environmental assessment report to the Canadian Environmental Assessment Agency last December, and I believe all the information there is available on Noront's website if you want to go take a look. And just before I kind of get going again, my boss, Christine Kaziski, who's the Assistant Deputy Minister for the Ring of Fire and is the coordinator for the Ring of Fire, is going to be giving a presentation later on today that's going to talk a lot more detail about some things that we're doing in conjunction with these companies, the relevant First Nations and Aboriginal communities, and other areas in which we're working with them to try and drive development forward. In addition to those two projects, two companies, McDonald Mines Exploration with their Butler project, which is a copper zinc project, and Bold Ventures and KWG Resources, which is looking at a Black Horse chromite project in the Ring of Fire. I should also mention that KWG has a proposal that it's talked about extensively over the past while for a rail corridor to go into the Ring of Fire as a means of getting product out and out to market. So that just gives you a small flavor of some of the extensive opportunities that the Ring of Fire can bring. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about the local and regional business opportunities, which of course I think will be of great interest to the folks in this room. Some estimates of the mineral value of some of the projects in the Ring of Fire currently sit at about $60 billion. If you talk to some others, it may be well beyond that once further exploration and things are done. So, very clearly, some long-term opportunities for folks who want to get involved with what these companies are doing in the Ring of Fire. So, the northern mining supply and service sector is, I think, one that's globally renowned. It's one that shops its expertise not only just within Northern Ontario and the rest of Canada, but also globally. There was a study that was prepared just to take kind of a snapshot look at the mining supply and service sector a few years ago by a firm called Doyle Tech, and they estimated the value of the supply and service sector in Northern Ontario at about $5.5 billion, employing approximately 23,000 people, and that's something that's been growing, I think, particularly here in the Northwest, as mining opportunities, not just with the Ring of Fire, but other things as well, sort of increase. The opportunities, of course, I think extend also to First Nations communities who can benefit from business development opportunities, direct employment, economic partnerships with companies and with other communities. And obviously, of course, the municipality of Greenstone, just owing to its geographic proximity to the developments and to potential infrastructure corridors, is obviously in a great position to benefit. And if you just look outside side at the booths that are here, just about the local companies, you can see that this area, Greenstone as well as the Northwest, has companies that are engaged in any manner of services, engineering, environmental, construction, etc. So, I think those companies are poised with the right approach to be able to really take advantage of things in the Ring of Fire once they really kind of get started. So the question is, I guess, how do you go about maximizing those opportunities? So based on the sheer mineral potential of the Ring of Fire and the proposed projects in the region, obviously the opportunities are significant, particularly for the mining supply and service sector. The Ontario Chamber of Commerce, and some of you might have been at the launch event that they had in Thunder Bay just a couple of weeks ago. They recently released a report on the Ring of Fire, and one of the aspects of that report was to do kind of an economic analysis of, what are the positive economic impacts that the Ring of Fire can bring. And part of that analysis really did focus on the mining supply and service sector and the Ring of Fire's ability to really improve the sort of mineral cluster of Ontario, and particularly in the north. And I talked earlier about just how advanced the sector in Northern Ontario is, and why it's positioned to really take advantage. And I think one of the acknowledgements of that work is Mayor Hobbs spoke earlier about the Thunder Bay mining readiness strategy. And one of the key recommendations that came out of that report was, starting to do some work to develop a sort of northwest cluster. To kind of bring everyone together, figure out what are the challenges, what are the opportunities, what are some of the barriers, what are some of the things that the sector in the Northwest can do to market itself, etc. So I believe that work is ongoing, and should be a pretty significant factor in ensuring that the sector is well positioned down the road. So going on to some of the first things I think that the sector can do in order to really maximize the opportunities associated with the Ring of Fire is research. I think that's one of the first things that any companies that are present at this event, and other companies as well, can do to make sure that they're ready. So I gave you a very just short version of some of the project plans of Cliffs and Noront, and some of the other companies that are operating in the Ring of Fire, looking to operate into the Ring of Fire. And the project plans of those companies are available online. So a couple of key questions that you can ask is, does your business, or does your company, or does your organization fit into those plans? Does your business provide a service that's going to be needed by companies that are looking to develop mineral projects in the Ring of Fire? And specifically, how does your company sort of fit into the very specific plans that these companies have? Also, another important factor to take a look into is procurement policies. Not just in terms, do they have an established supply chain that they already work with? Do they have plans to sort of hire locally, not just in terms of individuals, but in terms of using local business? I know that there's other companies, Musselwhite, Detour Gold, other places in Northern Ontario that have been able to really foster a lot of growth in local sectors, just because if you have someone close by that has geographic proximity that can help out your mining company in getting to where it needs to be, then that can be advantageous for all sides. How do you stack up against other businesses, not just other businesses that are in your backyard, but other businesses in Canada, other businesses globally? The Ring of Fire I think is pretty well globally known in terms of its mineral potential. It's known internationally. So the question is, how do you sort of stack up against those companies? What are the kinds of things that they're doing? Are they getting in earlier than you are? Those are all things I think to be well aware of as you seek to figure out what role your organization and your business might play in the Ring of Fire. And there's some examples of just doing some research for this presentation. I know that there were some companies in the Northwest who primarily worked in the forestry sector for many years. And with the unfortunate downturn in that sector, what they were able to do is kind of take a look at what are the opportunities available in mining in the Northwest, and we're able to successfully kind of pivot from not just providing services to the forestry sector, but providing services over to the mining sector as well. And I think, those folks were able to look at that, kind of, see what was going on, get in early. We're really able to find successful partnerships with places like the Musselwhite gold mine and others. One of the second things is, so once you've done some research and you might have a sense of whether or not your company can take advantage of what's in the Ring of Fire, marketing is key. Like I said, there's tons of different businesses out there who have extensive experience in providing services that large mining companies need to get their projects off the ground. But the key is, I think, to make sure that you're putting your services and your expertise in front of folks. And I think part of that is really just kind of breaking down exactly how your company, your business can provide the services that those companies need. So, what's your previous track record? Have you worked with other large-scale mining projects that have a similar type of plan as the ones that are operating in the Ring of Fire? Have you done that in a cost-effective way, sort of on time, on budget? What's your safety record? That's a significant factor in looking at the ability of the business to provide the necessary services. I spoke a little bit about costing, but of course, companies are going to look to get high-quality services in a cost-effective way, and of course, just highlighting what your proximity is. If you've done significant work right in the same kind of backyard as the Ring of Fire, then that can be a plus. So it's really key to, not just take advantage of events like this one, the Grow Greenstone Expo, and other similar type of events that occur across Northern Ontario and other parts of Ontario as well, but just sort of keep on that push. Keep on that push of making sure that the sort of mining community really knows what it is that your business is capable of and what it brings to the table. A third part is proactive engagement. Like I said, a lot of the information about what companies in the Ring of Fire are up to is completely available online, but further to that, there's no harm in sort of picking up the phone and getting a sense of, what's going on with companies like Cliffs, what's going on with companies like Noront. And of course, I think also, and some speakers earlier alluded to the importance of this, but engaging with the First Nations and Aboriginal communities. There's many opportunities, I think, available for joint partnerships, for joint ventures. Just an example, Whisk Air Helicopters has signed an MOU with Martin Falls, Webequie, and Yavamatang First Nations to provide air transportation services within their respective territories. And, part of that was fostered through early engagement, talking to the First Nations communities that are involved, getting a sense of what their needs were, and that's formed a successful MOU. And another example is, I think this was just recently announced, maybe a couple of weeks ago, First Nations Mining Corporation that's getting put into place between SNC Lavalin, Cementation Canada, Morris Group Limited, Flying Post First Nation, Black Soul First Nation, Matagami, Wagoshig, and this is being formed to help foster those joint venture partnerships with some of the local Aboriginal communities to sort of promote the range of services that can be offered by that group. And it's that type of engagement and that type of engagement, when it happens early, that can really, I think, foster a climate of partnership, which has been the key theme that Mayor Beaulieu, Mayor Hobbs, other speakers have spoken about today, that can be a win-win for all concerned down the line. So, I think part of the other thing to be aware of is, what are some of the challenges that your company, and not just your company, but some of the other folks have in terms of, sorry.
So, since you're finding somebody for banquets for this?
Sorry. I guess, far be it from me to stop, talk about food and when it's delivered and stuff, but I guess I'll I'll try to carry on here. So in the study that I mentioned earlier that was completed by Doyletech, not only did this study kind of touch on what the advantages that the northern sector has, but also what are some of the challenges. And so what this study found was that there's a lot of firms that are really dependent on just a few clients. In some cases, only one. And I guess about 48% of the companies that were surveyed as part of this study relied only on the single customer for a large proportion of their sales. And, you know, in a way that's understandable. I mean, you know, they've obviously developed a strong working relationship with whoever that customer may be. But, you know, one of the things I think that the Ring of Fire can offer is a chance to really diversify your sort of business reach. In addition, you know, established mining companies that are operating in Ontario, you know, they might already have some folks that they are used to dealing with, that they've dealt with in the past, sort of an established supply chain, if you will. And I think, you know, because of that, I think that early engagement with those mining companies to figure out how can your business potentially be a part of what they have planned for the Ring of Fire is absolutely critical. You know, there's been a lot of talk, I think, about the fact that, you know, the Ring of Fire is still kind of a few years away, and there's a lot of complexities and complications and things that need to get done before the Ring of Fire can sort of come to fruition. But that might also be a way to, if you want to look at that as a positive, a way to, you know, start doing this research now, start doing that proactive engagement now, so that when the Ring of Fire does come online, you will have, you know, done all sorts of things to try and ensure that your business can take advantage. And of course, part of proactive engagement is, you know, working, I think, with people like myself and a bunch of other people in this room who represent the federal government, provincial governments, municipal governments. You know, like I said, you know, maximizing the value-added opportunity for the supply and surface sector is a key part of the province's vision for what the Ring of Fire could mean. So in the private sector, funding forum, you would have heard about some things in a lot more detail about the NOHFC, NADF, FedNor. You know, there's some things in last year's Ontario budget, for example, $265 million to a capital cost allowance for manufacturers, which can be used to purchase new machinery and equipment and deduct those costs from their taxes. That's not a program that's specific to the Ring of Fire, but when you take a look at it, that might be something that can help your business as it's seeking to sort of diversify itself and expand. And I think another real critical thing is, you know, Greenstone, for example, of course, has done yeoman's work over the past number of years in order to help prepare the community and the business community within it for the Ring of Fire. And I think that as a company, it's you know, it's really incumbent, I think, on you to work through your local chambers of commerce, work through your local economic development corporations, figure out, you know, how is it just about, is it, you know, it's not just about your company, it's about kind of a whole cluster. And by everyone kind of working together through those kinds of forums, you can really develop some strategies and some ways to get beyond whatever challenges you're having and to ensure that the necessary preparation is done in order to be able to get to where you want to be with respect to what's happening with the Ring of Fire. And I know that I've been to, you know, other communities and sat down with local chambers of commerce just to talk about those very things. And, you know, at the end of those meetings, which is, you know, part of a continued engagement, I think, that happens between, you know, the private sector and government with respect to this. But those have been successful, and, you know, it's kind of charting a path, I think, towards making sure that the goal of maximizing those value-added opportunities is realized. So just in a quick conclusion, again, it's you know, it's probably a little bit redundant in this room to talk about just how big of an opportunity the Ring of Fire is. I think everyone in this room is absolutely well aware of that, particularly the Northwest, where, you know, geographic proximity to the Ring of Fire has a lot of opportunities. So, you know, again, I think the keys are, you know, do the research. You know, market yourselves, work proactively with all the different players, whether that be governments, the mining companies, and, you know, yourselves included, just to make sure that, you know, once projects are come to fruition in the Ring of Fire, that you're in a position to fully fully benefit. So the last slide, I think, will just have my contact information. And like I said, I'm part of a team of folks in the Ring of Fire Secretariat who are dedicated to working with all of you with respect to all the different processes and whatnot that we have with the Ring of Fire. I would be happy to talk to any of you if you want to give me a call or send me an email at any point to expand upon anything I've talked about here today, and to talk through some of the issues that you might want to speak about with respect to the Ring of Fire. So with that, I'll just sort of leave it there, and I want to just say thanks again to Greenstone and to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to speak here today. Thanks very much.